Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is DC Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the DC Universe.
Massage, Dan.
Once again, we got the head massage going on, everybody. Welcome to the DC Movie News Show, wherever you are in the universe. Is it safe to say this has been the biggest week out of our 23rd episode?
Well, I was kind of upset when you guys asked me to come on. I thought it's a pretty boring week, so I was like, what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. We're just talking about old Batman episodes. Who knows?
Why don't we just talk about the Star Wars trailer then?
Guys,
we could
gals, aliens, whatever you may be, welcome to the show. Here we are. We're, of course, DC Movies SK on the Twitter and on the Facebook. Please look us up. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. All that good stuff. At Jay Quasto here. Jonny Loquasto on the Twitter. Well, no, at Jay Quasto on the Twitter. Let's just get right into it. We got a lot of stuff coming up, but I'll introduce everyone. Then we'll get into our little rundown. The lady to my left, she's rocking a half denim jacket. She's back from Coachella. And, right?
Yeah, it's like a full denim. It's just different color denim.
Oh, you're right.
I want, for the people who are just audio listeners, I want them to have a full picture of what I'm actually wearing. So it is darker denim on the sleeves. But
yeah,
almost a black.
You're rocking multiple denims.
I am in a denim skirt too. I'm denim girl today.
Yeah, that's right. Find her on Twitter at Roxy Striar. She is the Roxy Striar.
What's with the lip gloss obsession?
You
can borrow it if you want.
Why is it
Johnny,
sitting here on the news desk?
Because I like to touch up during the show.
I call it the news desk.
At least I don't smell like
our top story is
tanning this week. So you know.
Thank God for that.
Gotta be Dexter.
You were lucky you missed that week. Yeah, it wasn't good.
And ladies and gentlemen of the DC Universe, you'll be very pleased to know that we have our BFF on the show. Adam Gertler's still shooting for FYI. He is not here. So we can't prove that this man and Adam are not the same person yet.
We are different people.
I don't know.
No, that's true. We can't.
Nah, man.
Until you guys are here at the same time.
I'm sorry to say that.
We're going to get there. Very, very talented actor, friend of the show. Give it up for Mike Kalinowski.
All right. Well, it's awesome to be back. This is the week to be back. We've been trying to get me on for a couple weeks now. It just hasn't worked out, but this is the week to be back.
I get really excited when you come in for a couple of reasons. One of them is the fact that the fans are so freaking obsessed with you that it takes a little of the pressure off. I know.
The comments, I love them.
It's like no matter what I say, I know we're going to get some thumbs up just because you're here. So
well, thank you for that, guys out there. It's awesome.
It was just
Everyone's
amazing.
a big fan of Mikey Kalinowski, that's for sure.
Ooh,
so
Mikey.
Here's what we're going to talk about over the next number of minutes. Obviously, a little thing called a trailer. That's
just
out.
A little thing.
Gonna re-up the DC movie slate just for a couple seconds so you can check that out. We got a possible spoiler of deceased characters in Batman vs. Superman, why Michele McLaren left Wonder Woman, talking some Jim Parrick and Suicide Squad. Couple different characters there. Going to talk about Warner Brothers and IMAX having a brand new deal. Going to talk some Green Lantern, Flash Arrow Spinoff, a little video tour that DeAndre Jordan of the Clippers took, saw some cool stuff, and of course some honest trailers and retro trailers from Screen Junkies. Roxy, how's that for a little rundown?
That's a slate
Raising
there.
This roof.
Yeah, it's because, I really liked some of our other Popcorn Talk Network shows do that at the top, and it gets everybody amped and excited about what we're going to talk about. So we're stealing from you guys. That's right, Mark Riley. That's right, Jeff Snyder. We're stealing you guys' format.
And right off the top, in chat roll, 57 Fire with me saying, in capital letters, Mike, I love you, stay forever.
I know.
You guys are awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, his head's going to get a little big because of this, I think.
I have a small head, so it can get a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Let's get right into it. Everyone saw the trailer probably multiple times like we did. Wow. Where do we start?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, let's start with... it's bad time for it to be released. Let's just say that. Let's put it out there. Get it out there. There was another little trailer that came out.
Yeah.
Whether it was leaked, that Spanish version of whatever.
Yeah.
Or, whether they tried to steal the thunder of it, I don't think so. They had to book the theaters.
When you say they...
WB, Snyder, them.
Okay.
Snyder, he handles all his stuff with the tweets of the costumes and all that, so I don't think he would have done it. They had to book out weeks in advance the IMAX theater, so it was set to go on that Monday.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a, Star Wars Weekend just did their thing, here's DC's thing? Maybe if they would have waited a weekend, I just feel... it wouldn't have got such negativity about it that it just
I don't understand why there's negativity. I thought the trailer was phenomenal.
Let me tell you, all week, my friends and I on Facebook, it's been just like me versus everybody.
What is everyone's problem? There's so much symbolism in the trailer that makes you stoked for it.
There's a couple of things. We have to remember that we are still almost a year, we're a little under a year out from this. So if you look at this as a teaser instead of a trailer of a bunch of different cool moments, then you're going to be happy with it. But if you look at this as a trailer, it doesn't tell the full story, nor should it now.
I don't want it to.
I don't want it to.
God.
I was really, first of all, I thought it looked visually stunning.
Yep.
It sounded incredible.
Yep.
And it made me ask a lot of questions. I'm cool asking questions. I like being in that place where I have a lot of questions. Some people don't like that, and they want to be shown too much. And then if they were shown too much, people will be sitting here saying, we were shown way too much, and now there's going to be nothing left to tell us in the movie. You can't have it both ways. For the naysayers out there, I really, really think you should give it another shot. You're right. There was another amazing trailer that was dropped this week. And it did rain on the parade a little bit. But at the same time, this one was great. It was awesome. It was so fun to watch. And I've seen it maybe like 45 times since.
You bring a really good point there. I guess it all depends on what you're into. I'm the kind of person, I don't want things answered to me. Like, for example, if I'm seeing a comedy trailer, nothing pisses me off more than when a trailer gives away the funniest part of the movie. To me, that's a terrible movie.
Perfect.
I don't want the best parts.
No.
And this trailer provides so much intrigue. It makes you wonder, wait, is Superman a villain? Why are they going to fight? What's going to happen? That doesn't look like Metropolis. All these questions are popping up in your brain. Why is there a Riddler question mark? Like, all these things. To me, that makes me that much more excited to see the film. What about you, Mike?
It was, I refused to watch the bootleg version. Then they finally were like, well, we got to release this. So they released it online. My friends were sending it to me, and I was like, I don't want to look at it yet.
You didn't watch the bootleg at all?
No.
I don't want to watch the bootleg. Hell no.
By the way, it was in
Spanish.
It was in Portuguese.
Yeah,
we were corrected last week. Yeah.
So I had tickets for the special event on Monday, and
aren't you so fabulous?
I was like, well, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to it.
Where was our invite?
Well, I only had 2 tickets. And I couldn't decide between the 2 of you. That's like
deciding
so you took no one and went alone. Between your 2 children.
Sophie's choice.
I could have sat in Roxy's lap. That would have been 1 ticket.
That's true.
We were offered tickets, but we both had work.
That's true. We both had to work.
But it was, and you to sit there in a group. I think it was like 1,000 people. And we didn't know. I mean, I'd heard from the East Coast on Twitter that they were giving away posters, and we got a ticket to see the movie a week in advance.
Nice.
And they had the Zack Snyder, and when he talks, whether it's about any movie he's ever done, he genuinely loves these films. And he was like, I'm thank you for seeing it here. This is how we wanted you to see it. And they had a WB representative out front saying, if you'd seen the leaked trailer, we apologize for that, but this is how it was meant to be shown. Please enjoy. And it's Batman versus Superman. It's, as a kid, what you've always wanted to see, and we're finally getting to see it. And people are like, well, why are they? And people are talking like, well, I don't get why Batman and Superman fighting. It's the comic trope of, if you've read any comic book your whole life, when 2 heroes meet, they always fight. Yep. Regardless of, they're not going to stop. And especially here's this god who's come down to our planet, and however long his time has taken place, has pretty much, him and another god, Zod at the time, destroyed a city, destroyed the Indian Ocean. Batman is a guy that he's for the people. He's like, well, this is a problem. I'm going to deal with this.
Just out of curiosity, then, do you think that people were expecting them in some weird way to be best friends? Because otherwise, why are they so pissed?
Because
I don't know. What I think that people are upset about isn't the fact that they're fighting. It's the fact that they have no idea why Batman is mad at Superman.
Right.
Everybody's saying,
that's why you go see the movie.
Right. And this is what I keep telling people. We will have a reason. Right. There will be a reason. And they say, will we? Yes, of course there will be a reason. I will
apologize to everyone if at the end of that movie you're like, why were they fighting? I don't understand why. If they don't answer it,
if they don't,
I'll go to you guys. But
if they don't answer it, this show's screwed.
Yeah.
but
there's a lot riding on this movie.
And the entire slate, yeah.
We had a great question in chat roll before the show even started, and you kind of already answered it. How do you think Batman and Superman go from saying, hey, we need to fight, to saying, hey, let's form a Justice League?
Okay, here's my theory on this. I believe that after the arrival of Superman saying, we see that there are now aliens among us, I think this is where the Amazons are finally going to go and announce themselves to man's world. And Aquaman is going to let Atlantis, who, they're 90% of the world is water in his realm, or 75%, whatever it is. He's finally going to go, oh, you're coming down to my area, you're going to screw with us, we haven't touched you guys, well, okay, here we come now.
Right.
So it's going to be this where we as humans, we're like, oh, wow, we're not the dominant anymore. You know, we've got these warriors, we've got these Amazons, and then Batman's gonna be like, well, no, I'm sticking up for the people. I'm of you guys.
And that's where let's go back to the trailer. What about that one shot where we have Superman standing there and it looks like all the police officers with S's on their shoulders are kind of like, it's almost like they're bowing to him in obedience?
Yes.
What? That's a little bit dictatory, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very similar. They're very similar to, there's the comic Injustice going on right now that's based in the video game where there was this military force that was under Superman's rule, and they all had a very similar symbol. I don't think this has anything to do with it, but you know, but then you've got the Day of the Dead, that scene where they're reaching him like he's a savior.
When you have on those World War II like helmets and you have something on your arm, obviously that's where our mind goes. You know, people wearing patches, obviously that's what we're thinking about. And so it doesn't look like a bunch of people who want to be there just having a good time.
No.
Of course not. And as we broke down this trailer, a great site you guys can go look at, Slash Film, they overanalyze the heck out of it.
Yeah,
but,
they do.
you know, they break it into a bunch of stills. And I'm sitting here looking at that picture, and I can't even stop because it's scary what he looks like there. And yes, we know Superman to be a great guy, but for whatever reason, and Batman to be a great guy, for whatever reason, they're scary looking.
I think we just need to come back to the title. It's Dawn of Justice. Superman. He will. Everyone wants, and this is what I'm getting into a lot of fights with people about. Is like
Fist fights?
No, not
because
yet.
you just made the grip.
Fisticuffs. I'm going to do the fisticuffs. But no, people, they just can't get past the love of Donner and Reeve. Like we know we've talked about Batman.
Sure.
Right.
I love Michael Keaton, but I look beyond it, and every other Batman film, I give it a chance.
Even
in the Batman and Robin, there are things in there that I do like. It's a terrible film, but there's stuff, the Alfred and Bruce stuff is fantastic. You know, but Superman fans, they just can't get past that Reeve and Donner stuff. They can't see different versions of him. I mean, hell, we've had a mullet Superman, we've had an electric Superman in the comics. There's been different interpretations of this character.
And now look at the new Batman that's going to be hitting pretty soon.
Right.
Robo Batman.
Yeah, so it's like there are different versions with the Man of Steel. I think they're still so let down by that film. So going into this, they're just kind of like, nah, I don't know. No, it's not me.
I think it's very, very unfair to judge a movie ahead of time based off of what your thoughts on Man of Steel are. I mean, come on.
I think at the end of this movie, we're going to get that Superman that is truth, justice, the American way, that is there to inspire us. I think at the end of this movie, he's going to rally the heroes behind him, and he will be that. So we see it all, and everything is dark with him. Even that scene where he's holding out to someone, and the clouds are behind him, and someone's reaching up to him. It's very dark.
Somebody in the chat, I forget who it was, wanted to ask you why you find Superman to be so dark.
Me personally?
Yeah, because you've mentioned a couple times dark Superman.
Just because this is what we've been given so far with Snyder. It's a very... And even, it was a couple of years ago, Kevin, and I forget his last name, he's the head of WB in Japan. He had said, their slate of films for WB and DC, it's going to be darker. We're not going to be Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is their Superman.
Here's a comment in chat roll from Ahmed Faraz saying, the scene with soldiers bowing to Superman is a nightmare sequence. Jeez, that's really looking into it. Unless he knows something we don't.
Hey. That's what I love. I love the fans' theories right now.
But
I love
Superman,
it.
Does he have nightmares?
Could it be similar to the one with Zod where he's with the skulls?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, very true. And I want to talk about some of these specific scenes or images that we did see. You mentioned the Day of the Dead one.
So good.
And I'm curious what the heck that is. Now, some people are theorizing that actually maybe this is some sort of cult that it is not Day of the Dead oriented, but
yeah, they all got that makeup on in that one shot.
Yeah.
I will say this. With the Spanish culture, and I think Dave did it as a Mexican. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's Spanish into that world.
I just know in Spanish class we used to make those cookies with the skulls.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious.
I do a certain character at Six Flags, and they've always asked me, "Where's Superman? Where's Superman?" And it's all the Spanish children. And I asked some friends, I was like, "What is it with Spanish children and the Spanish culture with Superman? He's truth, justice, the American way. He's a very Americanized icon. The Spanish culture loves Superman.
Really?
It's phenomenal what they see with that. And some people say, well, it's the dark hair, but they just view that as something. So I wonder if this is playing to that, where whatever their culture that I don't know of with the Spanish people that love Superman is playing into Man of Steel with this. Like,
that's a very
maybe they're
interesting
kind
point.
of researching that.
Wow.
I don't know. Spanish children love Superman. It's unreal. In that, I would think, well, it's an American, we chose just an American way, but
if you did have to say, though, what the number one biggest superhero in all of the world would be, you would have to say it's Superman. So maybe it's just what is accessible. Maybe it's just...
Here's something interesting. The number one merchandising out of any superhero worldwide, Spider-Man.
Really?
Oh yeah,
It is Spider-Man.
Every one of my
Above
friends,
anyone else.
every one of my friends
Maybe
who
I
has
spoke too
kids,
No.
they're Spider-Man'd out.
Yeah.
I have multiple friends who have kids, and they're all in that like 3 to 5 year old range because I'm a child and won't grow up, but they have kids.
Totally.
Every single one of them, it's Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that, action figures. My buddy's kids both dressed up as Spider-Man for Halloween. It's like, oh my god, it's ridiculous.
But I think with that Superman, with that scene, but it looks so good though.
It looked amazing.
Larry Fong, I think, is his cinematographer, his DP in this movie. That's beautiful. His shots.
I wanted to give a shout out to somebody in the chat because this is a really cool point. It said from Nate, I think I pronounce his last name wrong every time, but Kaiser.
Nate Kaiser, yep.
Kaiser. I think those people with the skull paintings are Superman survivors, and they believe they'd be dead if it wasn't for Superman.
Whoa.
Which could be very interesting.
See, I love
skeleton.
DC fans.
That's genius.
That's
That is
pretty
brilliant.
genius. Pretty
And the
genius.
fact it's a year away and we don't know. That's what I love. The guys,
Yeah.
I love.
Kudos to Nate Kaiser, man. That's really
That's
See,
really
and that
cool.
to me is
next
people
level thinking.
that are giving it a chance. I have friends that, man, and I'm trying to, and if guys out there, please help me out. Where did the hate for DC come from? Because no one's saying Green Lantern, which they should use that as their, well, it started with this.
Yeah.
I think it's the Man of Steel, and I don't get it.
I don't think it's necessarily that. I just feel like maybe everyone just jumped aboard the Marvel train because they got ahead of the game, and now they're just like,
You said that, Johnny. It's great. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go
Please
ahead.
continue.
I was just going to say, but it's not either or. You don't have to
Right.
be either or. You can be both. So that's why it's confusing when people use that as an excuse. Well, Marvel's just doing so well. Good for them.
yeah.
I think, hey, Marvel, DC, Valiant, is
Hey,
doing.
We're
I think
watching
Ninja
everything.
and them.
We're gonna watch
Yes.
everything.
It's
Right.
a great time to be fans.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely. And you're right. If people were saying, well, Green Lantern, but they are saying Man of Steel, and even people who didn't love Man of Steel, I don't know that many people were like, this is the worst movie ever made. People
Right.
usually are like, it was okay, even if you think it was a C. So the room to go is up. Then,
Johnny, to what you said, a friend of mine was talking, and he goes, it goes back to that high school mentality of, you all wanted to be a part of the cool group. Even if
Right,
you weren't,
right.
what can I do? How can I dress like them? Right now, Marvel and Star Wars is the cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
DC is, nope, it's that, no, we don't like him. So it sucks, but I guarantee.
And I've always been the one to gravitate towards
to
the
difference,
uncool
yes,
thing, so that's
of course.
whatever.
And 6 years from now, just watch. When the DC universe is finally fully imagined.
We gonna be flexing
And I'll
on
say
y'all.
this, everyone's ragging, DC's copying Marvel by creating a cinematic universe. No one is saying now Marvel's copying DC with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. having a
yeah.
spin-off, which Arrow did with Flash and now with their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So DC did that first, but DC doesn't go, Marvel.
well, that's what
It's-
when something works and you see
Of
something
course.
works, you should mimic it because that's a good idea.
It's a business
Like-
thing. No one wants to be first. Everyone wants to be second.
Right. Absolutely.
So, hey.
Well, we got to move on to other things.
Yes.
Just for fun, let's get a quick glance of the DC movie slate on the screen, just because we haven't looked at it in a while, and it's just
There we
fun.
go.
It's just fun to look
I
at.
think that's awesome. Look at it.
You got all the logos there. You got Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, which we're going to talk about in just a second, and you got the whole rest. Take a little glance and,
I don't
exciting.
feel ready to move on. I don't feel ready.
Well, we could talk about the trailer for 50 minutes,
You
but
could
then
do
we're
a
going to
whole,
miss...
you could all show about the trailer.
Yeah.
I
But,
know.
okay, let me ask you guys this, and fans out there. The Shazam, now, I heard rumors that it's not part of the universe. Is that... I just read something recently. I could have read it wrong.
No.
But someone's saying it's not part of this whole universe. It's a
They came
separate
back.
standalone.
That was being rumored, and then they rebutted those rumors, saying it absolutely would
Okay.
be.
Yeah,
but then
Cyborg is the one that I think might be separate.
no, Cyborg's
Right?
No,
'cause
Cyborg's
he's
definitely
Ray Fisher in this movie,
He's
and-
definitely involved.
Okay.
Batman versus
But
Superman.
then they said no, they will be part of the universe. But then they said, you don't know.
Right.
And it was like, wait,
It's the one that's like...
kind of confusing
Yeah, I
and,
don't-
and doesn't necessarily have to be. As the character too, there's been so little about Shazam and who Shazam. I don't know.
We got plenty of time. I'm not concerned about that
Well,
at all.
it's not that I'm concerned, but I am wondering if they aren't going to announce their Justice League Dark, and if they're not going to announce all of those movies that we know are also coming,
Right.
because that isn't part of this universe, then why would Shazam be announced with this slate?
you're right. That's a very good point.
We'll see.
Well, you got to fill out that calendar.
Yes, that's true.
You do.
I mean, the calendar looks so beautiful right now. Just let it get on there.
I'll let you
know what I
guys know in 2019.
Let's move on. Here we go. This is very interesting. A picture was actually taken off the internet, but we do have it. It's of a nice little. It's a graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Possible DC spoiler, if you will, about maybe deceased characters that will be in Batman vs Superman. They're saying it looks like Jim Gordon might be deceased. Also, Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. That's kind of like the big question there. Because a lot of people are believing that Red Hood is going to be a priority. It's actually, I believe, El Maimbe, our friend, who we're going to have on the show at some point. he mentioned that Red Hood might become a big
Thanks for
priority.
that tweet, Almaime.
He's the best. We can't wait to have him on.
Yeah.
He's such a character too. I can just picture just from his picture and his little avatar and the way he writes and types. I just have this image of him. So if I
Really?
meet him and he's not like that, it's gonna let me down.
Oh.
But he's the kind of guy I would love to have a beer with. I'd love to have a beer with that guy. He seems like a genuine straight guy, and he.
Unless you wouldn't, and then he'd let you down. You know, it
still-
depends
he-
on what kind of
he
beer
did this
you
whole
order.
thing, not to get off the topic of beating cancer because of soda in his diet, and it kind of helped me because I was like him, addicted to stuff with soda, and he beat this cancer thing. And
Soda, I'm telling you, not to get off topic, but that will kill you. I mean, the stuff that they put
he
in
was
soda.
really a genuine cool
Yeah.
guy like that, and I didn't have any personal talk to him, but it was like, thumbs up for you if you ever listen or watch.
And if you drink too much soda out there, find a way to stop because it'll be the leading cause of strokes in our generation. I'm telling you that right now. Coming from a healthcare background, I've seen it. Not good. Stop drinking soda. Moving on.
But that picture, so people are like, it's Dick Grayson. But they talk, and now I don't know about this.
I just can't with the soda in
I
your
know,
mug right
I
now.
know. I'm
just
like-
can't.
I've cut back, trust me. But
I believe you.
People were saying in the trailer that there was a shot, because we've heard the rumors that there's Jason Todd's suit is in the Batcave.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And people were saying you could see it in the trailer that one shot of Ben Affleck. I was at the 90-foot IMAX screen, and there was no suit in the background, unless it's gray. But but they're saying, this is Batman who's been Batman for 15 years. He's gonna have lost his partners.
Yeah.
And especially if they've got to Jason Todd,
Right.
like Dick Grayson did. That's the. And we still don't know. Jenna Malone is she Robin? Is she Carrie Kelly?
We don't know.
That's still.
And the whole Jim Gordon thing, I don't understand why he would be deceased. But they're saying
Yeah.
that's one of the things. But one of the things are fun
Who
to talk about.
knows?
It's just interesting that not only now are we talking about characters that are going to be in the film, but we've gotten to the next level where we're talking about characters that aren't going to be in the film.
And real quick about that trailer, that goes to this. There's that scene where people are saying it's the bat plane flying in. I'm just gonna throw this out there right now. I think that's one of his drones. Where earlier they
Right.
talk about he has a drone fleet because he does that. It strafes the area and then the Batmobile kind of drives through. I think
Right.
he was clearing the area with his drone. I don't think it's a bat plane. Just saying that right now. So when
Right.
we watch the movie in a year.
Someone just saying the picture said, let's see here, Richard John Grayson, 1970-something to 2004. Just one more fun thing to talk about. We will find out. Moving on, Michele McLaren, Roxy. The reason is...
Why Roxy? Because I'm a woman?
Yes, that's
What do
right.
you have to say
Only
about
women
women?
can direct women movies, and only women can comment.
Yeah,
Go.
that's true.
Yep, Mike, we'll keep our mouth shut.
Yes.
So, a story came out as to why she left the position of being director of Wonder Woman.
Creative differences.
Yeah, and this kind of backs that up a little bit.
Conveniently.
It says her view of the film was vastly different than the studio's view, and also the studio became increasingly nervous about her lack of big-budget movie experience. Well, my thing is, why hire her in the first place? If that's your
Wouldn't you
concern.
have that conversation?
Yeah.
Early on?
Yeah, like, what do you see? If this isn't just a bunch of little things, this is an overarching how you feel about the way the film should be, you would think at some point she would have had to say, here's my vision.
Right.
But maybe that did happen, and they thought that they could go that way, and then after a little bit, they did. I don't know.
Gun shy about it or
Yeah,
something.
I don't know.
You never know what
Weird.
happens behind those closed doors.
Yeah.
You
No.
never know if they upset someone by saying something. Or...
Right. I don't think we're getting the full story, and I don't think we ever will
Never
get the
will.
full story.
Well, it gets even more specific here. They're claiming that Michele McLaren wanted an epic origin tale in the vein of Braveheart, and the studio was planning more of a character-driven story with less action.
We
And
will
that's-
see. If that is what the Jenkins movie turns out to be, then maybe that is the truth. But
Now, your face, Mike,
I don't know.
was classic on that. So,
I'm sorry.
Let me get this back in your brain.
only women
Yeah.
are allowed to speak.
Sorry.
no, Mike's speaking.
Here.
We're both feminine enough. We could talk.
Yes.
Now, let me get this back in your brain. Chat roll, let us know what you think. So, an epic origin tale in the vein of Braveheart, or a more character-driven story with less action. What do you think makes more sense?
You know what I think would have been a fantastic Wonder Woman movie? The animated DC movie directed by Laura Montgomery came out, I think, 2007. That is perfect. Just take that script, translate that. I want to see Wonder Woman on a horse leading the Amazons into battle against whatever.
Yeah.
But again, it's like maybe we have to go off of what sets up in Batman versus Superman, or is it going to go back 20 years ago? We don't know the time period.
And
Are
I
they
know-
allowing that fluctuation?
And I know Jason Fuchs has turned in his screenplay. Jason Fuchs was the writer of Pan that's going to be coming out. He turned in his screenplay, but they also have like a handful of other writers taking a look at things. They still don't really, I don't know if they know fully what the final thing's going to be. So,
Coming from the chat, Reeker of Havoc says, well, when you're first approached, you don't have to have all your thoughts together. And that's what I'm saying. If there was some specific things that they said, this scene and this scene we didn't agree upon, but you have to have a overall feeling on what kind of movie you want to make. I'm not saying you have to have all your thoughts right off the back, but you wouldn't know. Those two things are so vastly different. The character-driven, Braveheart-driven.
Yeah,
if you were able to describe that, if Michele McLaren was able to say, hey, I want to create a Braveheart-type film, you would think that would be something she would have said.
Right.
And they would have said, yeah, totally, or they would have said, no, that's not what we want.
I just can't see character-driven. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But again, I'm not well-versed in the character enough to know what has been great stories that work with her.
For me, I'm going to go origin tale all day.
Yeah.
And then especially, you would have to have the action. They want Wonder Woman to be empowering with less...
I think origin is smart because we're going to get her in Batman vs. Superman and then Justice League. Save her solo movie for the origin stuff. Because unlike Batman and Superman, that's something we haven't seen.
That's what I was going to say. This is not like a character who we've seen live action time and time again. Oh my gosh, of course. Of course we need to see that.
Do an origin. Absolutely.
I agree. I know that some people out there disagree just because people get sick and bored of origin stories, but it's not like we've seen hers time and time on the big screen.
Was there talk recently, I don't know if you guys have talked about it before, there was talk that Wonder Woman was going to have like 6 outfits, or they were talking, and one was like a diving suit. There was something about that, and I'm just like, all right, maybe that was where the conflict. She's like, they're trying to do this, and they're thinking action figures. We got to have women action figures.
The girls got to accessorize.
Some like diving suit. I have images of Linda Carter in that sequin starry diving suit.
Well, a lot of, like you just said, action figures, business-wise, it makes sense. Put her in as many different things as you can,
Maybe, and the director was like, well, okay, no, this isn't going to work. I'm trying to...
Wreaker Havoc saying the new Wonder Woman is being introduced. They have to do a little more character focus. I get that, but you still need action.
Yeah.
There's a way to marry the two, but... Patty Jenkins, I believe, will be able to do that just fine.
But I mean, who envies this? Whoever directs this, because this is like, it's one thing to do a Superman or a Batman movie or even a Flash movie, but to do a Wonder Woman movie, we haven't had the female-driven superhero lead her movie yet ever. It's
the other problem is there's been such controversy about the fact that this is a female director and that it only could be a female director, all of that like all of women directors out there are riding on this one it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because
terrible.
Now
look at Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. Point Break. What was what was it? Not Hurt Locker.
I was gonna say.
Male action movies, and here's a female directing them. I don't believe that sexist crap. I mean,
of course. No. And do I think that a man could direct this movie? Yes. Do I think that a woman could direct this movie? Yes. Am I happy that there is a female director? Only because I actually really like her.
Yeah.
She does good work. Yeah, because she does good work. I think both of them do great work. I feel bad because there's this added pressure that shouldn't be there.
Do you think because of what Monster was, that they wanted her because of that character-driven? Because of what Monster is?
I mean, that is dark.
Going, hey, this is why we hired you. This is what we wanted. Now you're doing this? Like, whoa.
Monster is an indie that is the definition of being character-driven.
Right.
The entire movie is about, and the title of the movie is Monster, about this one person.
And you could argue Charlize Theron, that's one of the greatest performances in the past 15 years.
And how do you get a great performance out of an actor?
Great director.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think that she will absolutely crush. And if what they are looking for is character driven, then I think she will do a great job. But I just wonder why can't Michele McLaren do that? Why didn't they think she could, or why didn't she want to? When you are a director and you hear that,
those walls could talk in those rooms.
I know. But some people in the chat are saying
those walls would be stressed out.
We need some Sony leaks happening over there at WB.
I know. Seriously.
No, we don't. Please.
No, we don't want that.
No.
We don't want that.
I want these movies to come out.
We got to move on. We got some Suicide Squizzard to talk about. So
Squizzard.
Jim Parrick.
It's new.
Last week we talked about the fact he was sending out some Instagrams that are suggesting that he was going to be Deathstroke. No, he's not. I love this. He's going to be playing Johnny Frost, which makes perfect sense because Joker is going to be so central in the Suicide Squad. Well, Johnny Frost was kind of a henchman for the Joker, so that makes him...
By the way, where was this dropped? Where was this news dropped?
Latino Review?
No.
Okay.
The Johnny Frost thing was dropped by our very own Meet the Movie Press at Popcorn Talk.
Oh, hey, all right.
They leaked it. They originated it. So a leak has a negative connotation. That's not what I mean.
No, they scooped it.
Boom, drop mic, walk out of the room, which is awesome. I think that was a Jeff Snyder original piece, so that's amazing. And I'm too familiar with his character.
That's the image of him right there we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the the Joker, Lee Bremaho, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Phenomenal artist with Batman.
What's great about Johnny Frost is he's loyal and ambitious to the Joker, and there's rumors about Suicide Squad about Joker and Harley Quinn being estranged. So Johnny Frost could be that liaison between the two while they're not talking. So I think he's actually going to be. This is going to be a really, really cool character. I think in Suicide Squad I don't want to call him a lackey for the Joker, but
he's like the Wesley from Daredevil with Fisk.
Yeah,
he's the mouthpiece.
And just look
Did
at
you
it.
binge? You watched the whole thing?
Just second time. I watched him through the second time.
What?
That's
a lot
so
of
good.
That's a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours.
It's just so everyone doesn't like. I love DC, but I love Marvel. I love it all.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Was that a little shout out to the Marvel show to have you on or something?
Oh, well, of course.
So should I?
But no, what I love about Suicide Squad is it seems like every day a new character is being announced, and some people are like, "Oh, there's too many characters." What I love, people are always like, in the comic books, if you got a regular, let's say just a regular drama, you've got a doctor character, a chief of police. Those are the supporting characters. In the DC universe, every supporting character is a great character. We don't need to see origins of this. Let these guys just come and populate this world.
Let them be.
It's the problem we always have with the Batman films. Anytime a character's introduced, we had to go through his origin. And in the comics, Cobblepot's just a guy that they go to for arms.
Right.
Sometimes we don't need his whole story. So with Suicide Squad, we're getting all these other characters like Killer Croc and stuff. We're not going to see his origin. He's just going to be a supporting character that they have through line in the story. I think it's phenomenal.
As long as they're in there, not because we need to throw more characters in there,
Right.
but because they are
Not
actually...
you're talking like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right,
Look who
right,
it is around this corner.
Exactly.
Right.
More like, here, this needs to drive the plot in this way, so we are going to bring this character because that's what
Right.
makes sense. Which is what I think they'll do. DC's been doing this for a while now. I don't feel like they're just going to throw characters in for the heck of it.
And don't forget, Suicide Squad. That's a film where characters are going to die.
Yeah, not
So
everyone's
you
making
need
it out
some.
of that one. Not everyone's making it out of there. But
No.
Yeah, that really, really painful death.
I still haven't seen anything about KG Beast. Get him in there and kill him off.
pop his head.
Whatever you got to do. Blow his head up.
Speaking of Suicide Squad, and again, where it ends, I just was having some fun with my friends as a little bit of a nod to what had happened with Star Wars. How awesome would the ending of this movie be? Harley Quinn and Joker, whatever their problems were, they reconcile their differences. They've got mass destruction behind them on a bridge coming into Gotham.
Yep.
Gotham's kind of looking in front of them, the two of them standing there, and he just looks at her, Harley, we're home. Boom, end credits. Little nod to Star Wars saying, hey, we love what you did.
Yeah.
That to me, at Suicide Squad, we were talking about that, I was like, oh my God. Just the two of them, just bodies, just some guy on fire behind them, and the two of them just holding hands. Harley, we're home.
I'm
That's
telling you,
good.
Jared Leto and
Go
Margot
and walk
Robbie.
into Gotham.
Jared,
oh my God.
Jared Leto and Margot Robbie, that's a couple right there.
Oh, yeah.
You could just see them. They
I saw
just
Wolf of Wall
match.
Street again. I'm
so
not into
good.
blondes, but my God.
I know.
My God.
Just watching them walk away with the green and the blonde and the going into the destruction,
holding
I could see,
hands, and
yeah.
He does a little skip.
What's amazing is when they shot that film, I think she couldn't have been older than 21.
Yes, that's bad.
It's just...
Yeah.
Let's
She's
move
a
on.
hottie. She's a hottie.
We gotta
for sure.
move on.
Let's do it.
Before we just... So, Suicide Squad, once again, it looks like we're gonna have a little prison cameo, and this is a story from our friend El Maimbe at Latino Review. Killer Croc is gonna be making a cameo. It looks like he's the leader of a prison gang. I find this very interesting because to me that tells me he's going to be a bit more cerebral than Killer Croc has been in the past, or maybe he's just ruling by blunt force. I don't know.
Right. It also was saying that he had a very minor role, and
Sure.
that he has one. But I think that's great. Again, people who
Again,
keep
yep.
saying there's so many characters in this. How are we going to fit all of them? Because they're there for a scene, and they're there for a couple scenes. They are plot devices.
Gets you pumped up.
It enriches the universe.
Right.
It just makes it better. Instead of it just being bald thug number 5, we get
I'll
Waylon
do
Jones.
that. I'll do that.
How many times do
shake
you
your
have
head.
people auditioning for that?
You
yeah.
would have met thousands of people. Bald thug number 5.
Yeah.
I was
Skinny
just
girl
telling-
number 2 for sure.
Yeah, I was telling Chatroll, I'll die in the first 10 seconds of any film. I don't care. Get me in there.
Totally.
But yeah, I love this. I don't care if Killer Croc is barely in it. Just the fact we get to see the visual of him, that's going to be a great
And
teaser.
it establishes that he's there. So maybe
he's
the
in the
Batman,
universe.
we talked the last time I was on, the Batman films maybe take place before Man of Steel, so maybe we find out how Croc got there.
Well, we also find out maybe he's part of the prison riot if it does indeed happen.
Yeah.
Well, that would be cool. Like what you were saying before the Batman, you find out how he got there. We go back in time. That would be really
Yeah,
cool.
that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I love that.
Great comment from Nate Kaiser. I'm so excited to see Viola Davis blow people's arms and heads off. Duly noted.
Little morbid.
Well, point taken.
Little morbid.
Duly noted. Also, it's just been announced that Common, is now going to be in Suicide Squad. They haven't announced why or how or who he's going to be, but rapper turned actor Common is going to be in the film. I mean, I love Common as a rapper, as a hip hop artist. I'm sorry, I hated the movie Just Right, and I can't look past it. As a physical therapist, that movie with Queen Latifah was so fake to the field of physical therapy. Common was in it. It was so fake to professional basketball. I can't look past it.
You hated the movie so much that you don't like Common now because of it?
I'm just not I'm just not a huge fan of his acting. I'm just not a huge fan of his acting. That's all. He doesn't do anything for me.
Oh, I think Common's great. I'm excited about this.
We
people in here. Devin Allen says Common is Black Manta.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think Common's awesome. Maybe he's singing in the jail cell.
Yeah, I don't know.
That will help you a little bit because you get the voice.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah, he does, of course.
So,
I liked him in Wanted. That means anything. Years ago.
Like
I'm either there or that. He's a good actor. I think he's a strong actor.
This announcement does nothing for me per se, but I totally understand why people are excited about it. I get it.
Right. Yeah. It's cool.
I guess we'll find out in the upcoming weeks, perhaps, who he's going to be, or maybe they'll keep it a secret.
Ken Killings agrees with you. Not a fan of Common, but the rest of the chat seems to think that he's awesome. Yeah. Oh, and Hell on Wheels.
Like I said, I just saw Just Right, and I've been angry ever since. Terrible movie. All right. Static Shock.
Money says that. People are guessing all different things. Oh, this is so fun. People are guessing what Common is. All right, move on.
All right, perfect. Carrie Hamilton, you stay classy too. Have a good one. He's leaving chat roll. He's got to do something. Thanks for watching, buddy. All right, moving on. Little quick thing here. Warner Brothers and IMAX, they set a deal through 2020 where up to 30 films are going to be made. And on top of that, we have and there you go. The IMAX posters they were released at that special event.
Mm-hmm. This past month. I'm a little bummed.
All right.
Did you not get one?
First of all, where's the poster? How would you not bring that in?
Because I was at work.
And second of all, beggars can't be choosers.
Hold on, here we go. Okay, I'll say this. Yes, again, I'm a geeky person. I'm seeing the trailer for free. I'm getting a free ticket to see the movie in advance. I'm getting a free poster. But we went to the one at the Mann's Chinese Theater, and they didn't have the Batman poster. They had 2 boxes. And in my head, I'm like, all right, well, I went with a buddy of mine. Like, if he gets it, he's going to give it to me. And we're looking, and people are there. And I'm being the bitchy fanboy. I'm like, wow, I don't get the Batman poster.
Don't you guys feel so bad for him?
So if anyone out there, you guys have
one. It's the
Batman one, and you want to trade?
Oh, I bet you they're on sale.
You can look me up on eBay for like $50. I looked.
Sure.
But I'll just take the Batman one. I wanted to get both of them.
So you didn't get that one?
No, I have that one right there. Oh. I don't have the one with Batman, with Affleck's face with the Superman symbol across it.
Oh, okay.
They had none of them there, and I'm looking at like everyone else, like Tiffany Smith. She's holding up 2 of them. I'm like, look what I got. I'm like, man, they didn't even have the Batman
Tiff,
one.
share the wealth.
Hey, Joey Segura said he's got one in chat roll. Don't know where he lives. Maybe you could find him.
So there you go.
Hunt him down.
But it was pretty cool. But just to get this and get the ticket. They didn't need to do any of that, and they did. And thank you, WB.
So take us through that whole event. What was it exactly?
First of all, I just expected these things. You get free tickets to screenings. 900 seats. They give out 2,000 tickets. So we're like, I got to get there early. So I take it a buddy of mine. I was working. We got there about an hour early, and the line wasn't too bad. So I'm like, all right, we're getting in.
Do you think it wasn't as bad because it was leaked?
I think so. I do think it would have been busier if this was, hey, we got a special WB screening of something. Show up here.
But you already had a ticket. You weren't
in
danger of not getting in, right?
No, they said even on it, like, this does not guarantee that you're in.
Oh.
So we get there, there's probably about 400 people in front of it. Not even that, 300. And we're in line for about an hour. They bring us in. Huge theater. And they sit down. They give you the ticket. When they scan your ticket, they give you the ticket. Says, you had to write your email on the back and turn it in at the end. But so we're watching it, and a representative from WB comes out basically saying how we apologize for the leak. It wasn't how it was meant to be seen. This is how it's meant to be seen. And then Zack Snyder comes on. He's got the Batmobile behind him. It looked like they were on the WB Metro sets.
Wow.
I've seen those before, so it looked like that. But the Batmobile's sitting there, which is pretty cool. And he just says, he sounded genuine. He was a fan. And he's like, thank you for coming to see my movie. It's a special gift, guys. We want to bring you back to see the movie a week before anyone else. And we've got a couple seconds at the end of the footage that people online don't get to see. So
what was the vibe of the room while the trailer was going?
It was fans that wanted to see it. The WB comes up and everyone's clapping. The DC logo comes up and everyone's clapping. And those last couple seconds, we talked about this. Yes, it shouldn't have been released the week of Star Wars. It should have waited a little while. I don't know why that happened, but it needed that punch that the two of them charging each other. Because it had, if the Star Wars trailer didn't have the Han and Chewie moment, it would have been an awesome trailer, but we'd seen it, something like it, back in December.
Exactly.
It was that last couple seconds. So with the DC, if that would have been put out, attached fully, 2 weeks after that had come out, or 2 weeks before, I think fan reaction would have been much stronger for it. It just had it had everything strict against it coming out this weekend. But that said, seeing it,
Still amazing.
and for the people that are saying it's not happening, seeing it in the 9-foot screen, it is Batman on an antenna. He's got a gun in his hand. That is a rifle.
That is a rifle.
That is the scene from the people are like, Batman doesn't carry guns. It's like,
Well, they were
Dark
thinking-
Knight Returns. Yes, he does.
People are saying tranquilizers.
Well,
And
who
yeah.
knows what it shoots, but it is a gun.
You know.
Something. Absolutely.
I think you know everything.
I know. Not everything.
Pretty much.
But it was pretty awesome. And it was really cool.
That is fantastic. So yeah, IMAX posters if you got them. Sell them to Mike.
Yeah, I'll take one. Batman. Or I'll trade you my Superman one.
There you go.
Ooh, you said you wanted both, but now you're saying you'll just straight up trade.
Batman guy. Come
We
on.
will set up a
Batman guy.
barter system. For any, we should get a poster
But
and
it was
put it
pretty
up.
cool.
Doesn't
Yeah, I
make you
should've
feel
brought
like
it.
it's a little bit Batman-y though, because they're
Of
at least
course
the
it is. 'Cause
Batman.
it's Batman
yeah.
versus Superman.
Right, but so it's not like you just got a picture of Superman on your wall.
Speaking of that, have you seen Cavill? I think it was either yesterday or today. He basically come out and said, which I think we all knew, this is not a sequel to Man of
Right.
Steel.
Right.
He's even saying that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's smart. It's WB's being smart because Man of Steel didn't do. If Man of Steel had done what Dark Knight had done, this would absolutely be a Man of Steel sequel. But they're like, we're going forward.
Well, that's
we got to
why-
we got to bring Batman in.
That's
'cause
why it's a little
brings it in.
confusing though in the trailer when
Right.
we
You're
see the
right.
city and it's not. I mean, it's completely fine. And it's not Metropolis, or if it is, then if this is supposed to be.
I think they're saying it's Ground Zero because
Yeah.
that statue's there. I think that's
Yeah.
Ground Zero.
Yeah. Either way.
Either way.
We're pumped. Green Lantern time. There's
Yes.
a story that came out this week saying it might be Jon Stewart instead of Hal Jordan. Of course, we're not releasing it till June 19th, 2020. And obviously, a lot of people think this is a way to distance themselves from the 2000 version, plus give diversity
Hal,
that
look
everyone
at him
talks
up
about.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, you miss him?
I love Hal Jordan.
So you're not on board with the Jon Stewart?
I get where they would want to bring him in because of the Ryan
course.
Reynolds movie, and people are saying it's common.
And diversity.
Yes, I get that. Comments coming in. I'm just glad it's not Tyrese. He keeps. Oh my God, Tyrese! You want to talk about someone you don't like?
Yeah.
You don't like comment. I can't stand Tyrese. Every movie he is
Because of what he's done?
because he is Mr. Exposition in all his movies. And this is not me imitating him, but every movie's like, I gotta go in a car and jump out of a plane onto a road that no one can drive on. That's crazy. That's what he does in every movie.
But, so that's the characters you're not liking, and it's not the actor.
He's gonna be like, oh, you're a Diane Allen, you're giving me a green ring, I can make stuff appear out of this, and I gotta save the world. What?
Kind of like what a lot of people would say about Mark Wahlberg. He would just repeat everything that
Yes.
was given
The
to him.
exposition. And I don't know if it's an actor thing or if when they write for him, that's what they write.
I feel like that's a writer thing. I don't know if you can blame the actor for that.
I don't know. I think if they just know what he does and it's like, we got Tyrese, our exposition guy.
But we don't
Big
know
robots
Common.
shooting at me? What?
But we don't know Common's playing
Right, we don't.
Jon Stewart.
The Green Lantern.
Because if he is, he's going to be in Suicide Squad.
That wasn't me imitating him.
So Common
voice is just so good.
Yeah, you're a very white Tyrese. Common can't be Jon Stewart if he's going to be in Suicide Squad.
Right, who knows?
So
I think the Green Lantern universe is so big. Have John and Hal up there.
He could be if he's going to be in Suicide Squad. You don't know. He could come
Green
in. as
Lantern's not going to be in Suicide Squad.
You don't
No,
know.
come on now.
Guys, you don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know.
I still want a buddy cop
Well,
film.
honestly, you still want it? Yeah, that's
Space cops.
Look at the two of them.
That's
That'd
the
be great to have them
Gertler.
together.
Yeah, that's the Gertler.
Space cops working together.
Space cops.
Yeah.
We're gonna get. I was back up singing.
All right, Roxy, time to talk about your favorite topic. Flash Arrow Spinoff time at Missouri's Cape Comic-Con.
TV time.
TV time. Original Flash, John Wesley Shipp, a.k.a. Henry Allen,
I love him.
was
I know,
interviewed.
I
He's great.
freaking love him. His smile is just. Oh,
We've had a little Twitter banter going back and forth, him and I.
Hey!
You actually know him?
Not per se, but I found I was going through my garage, I found my old Starlog and TV guides with articles on him.
Cool.
And I photocopied them and scanned them, and I sent him, hey, as a kid growing up, you were like my idol. I loved The Flash, and he wrote back, and there's scenes I pick up with him, like, people don't know this. The scene with him where he was finally revealed that it was his son, he's wearing a coat. He used to wear that as Barry Allen on the show. It was a white, on the show it was kind of like a lab coat he would wear.
Yeah.
And they had him in that coat
Wow.
in that episode. And I was like, that was from it was
Cool.
the
love
original
that.
show.
Very cool.
Well, he accidentally let it slip, possibly. He referred to the series title for the spinoff as Legends, which was also the title of a limited published series back in 1986. We all know the spinoff is picked up for 13 episodes, and Supergirl is going to be a part of the shared DC TV universe. So there you go. Maybe he let the title slip. I think Legends is pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Who knows? Who knows if he let it slip? Who knows if he did it on purpose? Who knows if it's not the title?
Yeah.
But that would be pretty badass.
But obviously he's
Or as we
great to
call
his
it,
fans.
Vidal.
And it's going by that there was a DC Comics called Legends.
Right.
It was always team up. So.
Yep. And he's great to
Sounds
his
good.
fans. That's pretty cool.
He is awesome to his fans.
Moving on, if you haven't seen it yet, DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers took a video tour. Well, gave us a video tour, if you will.
Look at that shot of him.
Yeah. He.
Just a wall.
I don't know how DeAndre Jordan got a chance to do this, but he got to see everything from the Batmobile to the outfits.
Because he's the world's biggest fan.
Come on.
And when you have money and you're a fan, you do what you want.
Well, they say he's the world's biggest fan, but he's walking on the back lot there, and they're like, now, DeAndre, this right here, and they're showing, did I say his name right?
Well, physically, he may be the biggest. He's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I think that's what they meant, because he's walking around and like, here we are, this is the new Batmobile and Batman vs. Superman. If you're the world's biggest fan, you know what that is the minute you walk around the corner. So I'm sorry.
You don't even have to be that big of a fan to know
I
what that is.
believe it was a promotional piece done for us, though, because we got to see all these close-ups of the suit. And I'm sorry, guys. I posted this picture on my Twitter and Facebook. It was the 3 suits in the WB's area. You can't... I'm sorry, bitch. You can't complain. Those are ripped out of the comics. Everyone's like, oh, Wonder Woman's costume's not red and blue. It's like, look at that thing. That is red and blue and gold.
I love,
It is the comics come to life.
I think that the costumes looked freaking fantastic, and I think that the Batmobile looks fantastic too.
And people
Honestly,
are like, oh, it's got guns on it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if you've seen the comics, he's had turrets which shoot like this goop that sticks to people and it gels them to the ground.
I would let.
Who knows what it shoots?
Yeah, I would let that goop me any day. The
Absolutely.
Batmobile. Got to
But it's
throw it
not,
in there,
who
guys.
knows if it's guns? And Michael Keaton's Batman, whichever one we all love,
Yeah.
had guns on it.
Yeah.
So come on, stop picking it apart like that and being negative about it.
Yeah, if you're
Just
going to be negative, at
enjoy
least
it.
be educated about it. That's
Right.
right.
The costumes were so detailed too. I just love that. It's like without even having anybody in them, you could tell how muscular.
And I mean, I prefer a more armored, like the Arkham Origins. That suit to me is perfect, Batman. So this is not my ideal suit, but I love it. I mean, it's the comics come to life. It really is.
What do you guys think about between the voice and the costume, whatever, this whole robo? You know, what are you guys thinking?
May I chime in? Because
Yeah.
I've dealt with people on this.
I was asking you.
Everyone's like, oh no, we're getting the voice again, the Christian Bale voice.
No, we're not getting the Christian Bale
I think
voice.
that heard that because it was the bootleg version, whatever. Because it sounded mumble. It's very robotic. Well, he's fighting Superman. He's got a robot suit. Superman is 100 feet in the air. He's amplifying his voice so we can hear him. My friend retorts with, Superman's got super hearing. He could whisper and you'd hear him. I was like, yes. But this is probably the first time they're meeting. He doesn't know that.
right,
He's
yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
He's got everything planned out.
And once again, you're
And-
comparing. Don't.
I will say that seeing the trailer in IMAX, Batman, that is added dialogue of him saying, tell me, do you bleed? Because when they do that shot of Batman, his lips aren't moving.
Wait, he was saying, do you bleed?
Yeah, it's awesome. But
You will.
He his lips weren't moving in that scene.
That's pretty good. That imitation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So good.
You are a
And
voiceover
he's
actor,
good-
though.
when he's not-
voiceovers.
He does.
When he's not in that suit, he won't have a voice that had the robotic tinge to it.
You don't think so?
No, that was for that suit.
Agreed.
I agree.
And he's amplifying.
And you
it
can
so that
tell,
a man is
actually, it's
flying.
funny you say that. You actually can tell it almost sounded like it was the suit that was causing that voice.
Right.
Yeah.
So give it time.
Yeah.
And again, going back to we didn't want to see in the trailer, I didn't want to see a scene of him and Superman in the Batcave having it out, talking. In the movie, I'd love to see that, but for a trailer, no.
I don't want to see him
Don't
fight
wanna
in a
see
trailer.
that.
Get the hell out of here. No.
I don't see anything of that. Just a tease, which is what it was.
Teaser. Teaser.
Awesome.
A little tease. All right. Honest trailers from the Screen Junkies. They, I only recommend watching the retro one. I really enjoyed that one. The first one, they did what a lot of times Screen Junkies do, and they were a little brutal on the trailer.
I
Yeah.
don't think they were that bad though. Like 'cause
No?
compared to some of the
funny.
other ones,
Yeah.
they were pretty funny.
This to me wasn't them actually ripping it apart.
No.
I thought it was funny, and even at the end, post the credits, where it's like, "Why are you giving this?" And they said the thing with Star Wars, and they're like, "Why are you giving this crap? You don't even know. It's not even released. Give it a chance."
Good
Whatever.
point,
they're
good
writing.
point.
I thought it was
This was
funny.
kind of biased, there, one. I actually enjoyed this one.
Marvel,
I mean, I love all their
DC,
ones.
Marvel, DC. It was funny. You know, you got to take these things lightly. I don't think anybody here was saying, "Wow, this is the worst trailer that's ever existed," because they really go in on some people sometimes. But the other trailer that you mentioned, the retro one, was cool. It was cool to see all those old images to this audio.
Yeah, that was neat.
which was amazing audio. And I can't just keep watching the trailer over and over and over again. So mixing up and watching these two, it helps.
That shot
it
of
was
Bruce
nice
Wayne,
breezy.
so awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
It really was. Well, that's
awesome.
pretty much everything for this week. We left a couple of minutes left over for some questions.
Right. Well, I wanted to say this one. It's not really a question, but coming from the chat, Ahmed Faraz said Scott Eastwood has a 3-picture deal and is confirmed not to be Steve Trevor. That's true. That broke that he is supposed to be in 3 pictures. Apparently,
He's not Steve Trevor, though?
and he's not Steve Trevor. Apparently, this is what I, again, learned from the movie press. The rumor is that he was offered to either test for the role of Wonder Woman's love interest or be guaranteed a role in Suicide Squad. And he was guaranteed a role in Suicide Squad, but that role is not Steve Trevor.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's the rumor.
Maybe
that
he's Deathstroke.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
Could
but
be.
Scott Eastwood's very talented, so I'm
He's a good-looking guy.
yeah, he is.
I'm
He
comfortable
is.
with my sexuality, but that's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
I mean, we're not afraid to admit it.
No. He's got that cigar like his daddy sending
Good
pictures. I'm
genes.
like, look at that guy.
Chris
Good
Pine,
genes.
Ryan Reynolds. I mean, look.
He would have been
you're
a good
handsome
Steve
dudes.
Trevor, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm a little confused. And if it was the deal that they made, you could either test for this alongside a bunch of people or...
And maybe this is coming in with the separation of the directors, where the director didn't want him, but the studio's like, nope, this is our guy. And the director's
good
like,
point.
well, because there's a lot of times the studio's like, you're taking this actor, and the director's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, but I would have a hard time anybody thinking, no, I'm not with him, because what has he done to... Oh, maybe it's just not somebody's vision. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. All right.
Boom.
Moving on to a lot of questions that you guys tweeted in this week or wrote on Facebook or iTunes, etc. From Lee Rowland says, how much, if any, influence will DC's Convergence have on the upcoming movies?
I don't think anything.
I really can't see that having a huge...
That train's going. The movie universe, it's going. And now with DC's kind of... I just started reading a lot of the Convergence titles.
But you think New 52 will have a lot to do with it, or you don't?
With what? The
With the
movies?
movies, yeah.
No, I think the movies are their thing.
They're their own thing.
Yeah, I think it's smart. It's their own
If
thing.
anything, I'd say New 52 has a better shot than Convergence.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Let me
'Cause
ask
with
you guys...
Convergence, we're still going to have some New 52.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, let me ask you guys this then. If I change that word movies to TV shows, would you say that DC's Convergence would have effect on upcoming TV shows?
That's a better question because TV's weekly and it's always
I
changing.
asked a better question than you, Lee Rowland.
Well, no, you look at the Flash Arrow spinoff, we talked about that possibly being a convergence, if you will, of different characters,
Yeah.
so therefore it might actually come into play.
And with Katie Lloyd, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. We don't know if she's Black Canary, but I heard she might be. I had heard this rumor through some friends that I know in the industry that she's Stargirl. There hasn't been talk about this. This is about 2 weeks since I heard this, so who knows? But who knows? The 50 Convergence could give the TV universe much more of a bigger playground.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true. This is coming from at Tom Wood Marsh. Tom from England, love the show. Thanks, Tom. My question:
What up, Tom?
do you like
fun.
Arrow season 3? Personally, I think they don't know what direction to go.
This guy's good. I'm an Arrow fan, and season 3 to me, it's weird. It's these. I don't know if it was because Deathstroke was such a good villain in season 2, and the through line and the flashbacks were so good. The flashbacks, I'm all over the place.
The flashbacks are all over the place.
And sometimes they're useless.
And it's like, what message are you trying to tell me? I know you're trying to tell me something, but
And
I don't
I
really...
just I have faith in them. I have faith in that show. But this is a season that's been kind of. It is a roller coaster this season.
But I have to say, some of the episodes this season have been some of my favorite episodes, and I do think that a lot of characters have grown, and I'm so appreciative that Laurel actually is doing something right now.
And
so
they handle it so well.
Right, so-
and a show called Arrow, but we're getting everyone else is getting their due time. Like Deadshot. Mm-hmm. That guy had a whole episode where it was a character arc for him with his family. Like, he's been in, I think, maybe 9 or 10 episodes now, but that episode, I was like, wow, that's brilliant. On a show called Arrow, where Deadshot is being the lead villain, and it's his show, that one episode. It's
right.
great.
I agree.
That spinoff, though, could be coming at a perfect time. when it comes to
Absolutely.
Arrow.
Legends?
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
I will call
yeah.
it nothing.
I'm going to call it Brave and the Bold. That's what I'm going to go with.
You call it whatever you
I'm
want.
going to call it The Bold and the Beautiful.
Do I have time for one more?
Yeah, make it a quick one.
All right. This is from at Equo666. Ooh, like the devil.
Well said.
Thanks. I don't stutter at all. Guys, do you think that Soups will retain his Kent identity? Should be hard considering his recognition in an upcoming movie. So Soups is a nickname for Superman?
Yeah,
then?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Soups.
Soups.
Come Soups. Bats, Soups.
Sure.
It
Do
is.
you guys think he'll retain his
S-U-P-E-S.
Kent's identity?
Absolutely. I love the fact, and this is the thing that
That's a good
Snyder
question.
did. I love the fact that we are not going to deal with 5 movies of Lois Lane working with him every day. I don't know who you are. I'm a Pulitzer-winning prize journalist, but I don't know I can't figure it out. No,
Good
they
point.
got it out of the way early on. I think a lot of people had a problem with that.
Right.
But the scene at the end where she kind of smiles and they meet each other and they do that smile, I was like, that's brilliant. We're not going to have to deal with that. Like, oh, it's him. I don't know. No, she's a, but I think he'll keep the Ken identity. But I would love to see him and Batman facing off. And they did it in the world's finest animated movie where Superman grabs him and just uses X-ray vision to see through his cowl and goes, Bruce Wayne. And he's like, you cheated. And it goes into it like,
You cheated.
Oh, I loved that.
I love that too. That's
And then,
great.
of course, Batman comes up and finds out he's Clark Kent, which is awesome.
Very well said. That pretty much means we are out of time for this week, but what a week it was, and we can only hope that every continuing week after this
It's
is
just
going
going
to
to
be just
build.
fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Going to keep on building, already the end of April, and it's going to be a good time. So Mike Kalinowski, tell everyone all your info.
Mike Kalinowski, again, guys, thank you for welcoming me back, and I love, guys, the comments, and reach out to me on Twitter. I love talking to you guys. It's at MikeKalinowski.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, same thing like that. My own website, MikeKalinowski.com.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roxy Striar.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Dimitros Pandioras, whose birthday it is right now, and
Hey!
you're watching the show. So happy birthday!
Happy
There's your
birthday
shout
to you.
out. You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, and you guys can find me here, DC Movie News.
That is right. At Jay Quasto on Twitter, of course. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be at the Pittsburgh Improv May 13th to 16th, but I'm actually headlining on the 13th. So if you live anywhere in the area and come out and see me, it would be huge and help me immensely because I don't want to be in front of an empty comedy club.
And people asking for it. That was my worst bank.
That was a weird
I'm back, and that's what I get.
I lost it.
That was very weird. Also, if you love pro wrestling, at Wrestling Buds, Wrestling Compadre Slamcast every single week. Guys, thank you so much. Remember to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. We'll be periscoping more. And until next week, thank you so much. We love you.
Woohoo!
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.